On this day, he received a devastating message that his position had been eliminated. Oh, man.
I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 wrenches in my top drawer.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is MJ, and today we got some sad news. Tesla is doing layoffs, and this is not good. They actually fired one of the people who slept in their car in order to get production up. I did a podcast on this situation a few weeks ago when Elon Musk was saying people were going to have to sleep on the factory floor in order to get these cars made. Well, it looks like they're not going to have to do that, and they're not going to have to go to work anymore either. Let's check out this article from Carscoops. I'll put the link in the description. The article states Tesla fires guy who slept in car, showered at work, embracing the Elon Musk dream. Recently laid off Tesla production supervisor says he slept in his car in order to work more. Last week, news broke that Tesla had laid off over 14,000 employees, constituting a significant 10% reduction in its workforce. One former Tesla employee's story of dismissal on LinkedIn is capturing widespread online attention, offering a glimpse into the human cost of such large-scale corporate decisions. People do get laid off sometimes. It's an industry that needs to happen now. Like, people need to buy these cars now. When they stop buying them, you don't need to make them anymore because they're not buying them. Like, they can't just keep making cars if they aren't selling. That's just the way it is, unfortunately. I know I've been laid off. I've been laid off twice. I was laid off at Honda when I was a mechanic in the recession of 2008. And I was laid off at Cummins. They had a big downturn in business at one point, and I was laid off. No matter how hard you work, even if you're the best employee, sometimes that position is no longer needed. So they got to let you go, unfortunately. So let's look at this guy's story. He started working at Tesla in California in 2019 as a production associate. He began climbing the corporate ladder. He was promoted to position of lead production associate and later became a production supervisor. All right, working your way up. Last week, he was let go, unfortunately. So let's see the story of the way that he got let go. So he began working. He got up at 4:30 a.m. Goodness gracious. I'm still asleep at that time. He opened his laptop to check emails. He discovered his account had been deactivated, but he thought it was an IT bug and continued his morning routine. Okay, 5 a.m. He's on his way to work. 90-minute drive. Man, you couldn't have moved closer. That's a far drive to work every day. So he says while he's driving to work, he's usually in autopilot and he listens to his emails. On this day, he received a devastating message that his position had been eliminated. Oh, man, that sucks. So he texted his manager and was told everyone got it. So everybody got laid off. That's how it was with me, too. Both times. All my coworkers have been laid off. My boss had been laid off too. They get everybody. By 5:50 a.m., he was trying to enter the factory but was turned away. A security guard came and took his security badge. Ouch. He returned to his car and sat in disbelief. All right, so if his boss told him that everyone got this email that they were fired, why did he continue going to work? I would have just turned around and went home. What does he think was going to happen? He was going to get there, they will let him in anyway and change their mind. It does hurt when they take your security badge, though. I got to admit, that does hurt. Be like, man, just let me keep the badge as a keepsake. Like, like you could just deactivate the badge. It'll be deactivated once you get fired. Like, you could keep the badge as, like, I don't know, as like just a little reminder of where you used to work. But no, they take the badge back too. You know why I still have my Toyota badge. I had to get another picture taken for some reason, and they didn't take the badge back. So I had two badges at one point. When they didn't renew my contract, they took back the badge, but I still had the old one that they never took back. So that's why I still have mine. At Cummins, they took the badge. They took my badge. I wish I had it. I got a picture of it somewhere. I don't know where it's at, but all right. Anyway, back to this person. So he says at one point he was sacrificing sleeping in his car on work days just to avoid commuting to work. Yeah, you got to drive an hour and a half to work. The post has received an outpouring of sympathy on LinkedIn, and another former Tesla employee shared a similar experience of giving his all for the company just to be let go. suggesting that Murillo's story is anything but unique. Yeah, I think now a lot of companies are they're laying people off like all at once. So they do it like by email or by over a Zoom video conference. I don't know. I guess does it really matter? Like, I'm sure they probably don't want people making a scene or breaking stuff or stealing stuff. But yeah, it's kind of impersonal. What could they possibly do? I mean, at the end of the day, you still don't have a job. So, I mean, how good could it get? What do you want them to throw you a pizza party, carry you out the factory on a gold couch or something? But yeah, it does hurt. I ain't gonna lie. Let me give you an analogy to the way that I look at companies now. It's not good or bad, but this is the way I look at it, right? Think of the company or your job as like a tree. So go with me on this one. I know it sounds weird, but go with me. Imagine you plant a tree in your front yard. You water it and it grows up, it gives you fruit. You sit under the shade in the summer and everything is fine, right? And then one day, there's a big storm and the tree falls on your house and you're devastated. You're like, man, this tree, it gave me all this fruit. Everything was great. I love this tree. It looks so good. I was so proud of it. But the tree has now fallen on my house. You go over and you say, Tree, how could you do this to me? How could you? I loved you, tree. And you know what the tree says to you? Nothing, because it's a tree. It can't talk. That's the way these companies are. That's the way any job is. It's not a person. Your job can't love you back. So there's no real point in loving a company that you work for. Like it's a business arrangement. Now, that doesn't mean you have to go to work mad and angry at people. Like you can enjoy yourself at work and work hard, but just know when you work hard, they pay you for that work. They paid you at the end of the week. That's it. I mean, that's all they owe you. They just owe you for your time for that week. They don't promise that they're always going to pay you. I mean, they can't. They can't just keep people employed all the time if things aren't selling. I mean, that's just the way it is. Don't never be in love with companies that can't love you back. If you want to love something, if you want to believe in something, go to church, okay? But don't believe in any OEM, Tesla, Toyota, GM, Ford, Honda, whatever. Don't believe in them like that. This is a business arrangement, okay? I'm sorry. You don't have to feel too bad. You have your great resume at Tesla, right? You'll be able to get a job at another OEM with that on your resume. You know, I got laid off at Cummins, then I got a job at Toyota. You know, I got laid off at Honda. Years later, I got a job at Cummins. I mean, if I had never been laid off at Honda, even though that day was really, really sad for me, I would have never grown and went back to school and moved across the country and saw a whole new world. If I had never been laid off at Cummins, I never would have worked at Toyota and got to test prototype cars and go to the top of Pikes Peak and do all type of high altitude testing and cold weather testing and cool stuff like that. So don't feel bad if you get laid off. There will be more opportunities for you in the future. And just remember, work hard, but don't put your whole heart and soul into believing in any company. I mean, I'm sure they don't want to lay you off, but I mean, it is what it is. It's just a business decision. And just look at it like this. You got to work at Tesla. I mean, how many people applied to work at Tesla and they never got to work there? And you did. So there you go. And you'll be able to get a job somewhere else in the future. See if GM's hiring, see if Cummins is hiring, Toyota, Honda, wherever you want to go, man. You now have a good story and you have that experience. So things will be all right for you. And I think that you will land on your feet. All right. Well, anyway, thank you for tuning in and have a good one.